When I think of Range Rover, the first thing that leaps to mind is the Queen driving around her country estate in Balmoral with a scarf over her head on a grey, drizzly day, kind of like today. You know, Range Rovers are tough and rugged. You never would have described them as sexy. Until now. This is the Range Rover Evoque, and it's quite a looker. In fact, anecdotally, it's been mothers of young kids who've been the most excited to see this car. I mean, it really does stand out in the morning drop-off in the queue of Audis and BMWs and Mercedes-Benzes. My favourite feature of the exterior of the car, the pop-out door handles. So cool. I could do this all day. The Evoque has a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine outputting 183 kilowatts and 365 newton meters of torque. It'll give you 8.1 litres per 100 kilometres and get you to 100 k's per hour in just 7.5 seconds, all of which is fine for around town where honestly the Evoque will be doing most of its hard work. Inside it is extremely comfortable with beautiful fabric seats that are very soft. There's soft touch materials up here on the dash, a suede steering wheel which feels a little strange at first, but now I've grown to really like it. I'm just sort of wondering about the longevity of it though. I can sort of see it's going to be one of those things you might need to get reupholstered in a few years' time. When I picked up this car last week, I opened the center console here and I found this tray, and I honestly didn't know where it lived because it doesn't really fit there, doesn't fit there. After looking it up on YouTube, it goes there on top of the cup holders. Now you know. Sitting in the back seat, there's certainly more room back here than I thought there'd be. I'm sitting behind my own seating position at 190 centimetres. My knees aren't quite touching the seat in front, but that's because of an indentation in the seat there. But you know, it works, no complaints. More of this great, nice soft touch fabric here on the bench and soft touch materials on the doors. No rear climate control for the rear passengers, unfortunately, but there are a couple of air vents and no rear USBs either, but there is a 12-volt outlet.
The boot has a 472-litre capacity or 1,156 with the rear seats down.
Land Rover have gone all out on the tech for this car. There's no less than 5 screens in front of me. There's the digital instrument cluster, the center console screen for infotainment, the lower console screen which handles climate control and drive modes. There's the head-up display on the windscreen in front of me, and then the rear vision mirror, which is actually a screen as well. It's connected to a camera on the shark fin antenna on the roof, and it gives you a great view of what's going on behind you. It's razor sharp, and it also can see right into the blind spots as well. All up inside though, there's more than a faint whiff of Jaguar about the interior. I mean, it's not surprising being that they are the same company, but the software that runs the center screens, the digital instrument cluster display, it's all the exact same things that you find in the Jaguar E-Pace and the F-Pace. That's not a bad thing, it all works very well. What is different though are the way these cars are engineered. Clearly Land Rover have decided to preference more comfort in their ride, where Jaguar is more sporty. And if I have one major criticism, it's the steering. It's kind of vague and there's a lot of understeer and it takes a bit of getting used to. I'm not a fan, I have to say. The only time the steering does get quite precise is in dynamic mode, but then you have the problem of the engine switching into dynamic mode as well, which around town is just a little too happy, shall we say. The car kind of wants to lurch forward all the time.
Full marks to the self-parking function, which parks perfectly every time.
While you do ride up high in the Evoque, you sort of feel like you're touring your estate on your way to your country house. You sit quite low in the cabin, so everything kind of feels sort of high up, which is actually quite nice. It's a comfortable armchair-like position to be in. You certainly feel very well insulated from the outside world here in the Evoque. I mean, I can barely hear a thing from the engine, let alone the outside traffic noise. Hardly anything in the way of bumps from the road. We're just sort of gliding over them. Starting at $62,670, the Range Rover Evoque is maybe not quite as refined as an Audi Q3, but the looks are amazing. It looks gorgeous. And if you're after a comfortable cruiser that can move the family around, put some stuff in the back and maybe do occasional off-roading, then this car could be for you.